Hey guys, Max here. In this video, we are going to be talking about how I obtained 14,000 Tomestones of Aesthetics over the course of 3 days. Yeah, it's pretty wild. This new currency in Dawntrail is used to purchase the gear in Solution 9, the level 700 item level gear. And you can purchase this gear for your current job or maybe some alt jobs, or even give it to some of your retainers to kind of boost their stats for their venture missions. We're going to go over how I did this and then some tips and tricks on how to maximize your profits on this. Every time I do this method, I see a lot of questions in general chat like it's not working or I'm not getting the full rewards, that kind of thing. So we're going to get into that, okay? If you're interested in this type of content, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure you hit the like button if this video is helpful to you, and let's get into it. So the primary method I use to obtain so many tomestones is hunt trains. Now, if you're a veteran on hunt trains or you already know this method and how to do it, this video probably isn't for you, right? And that's okay. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next video. It's all good, right? But for anyone that wants a little more detail on how this works, let's talk about it for a minute. Now, I'm not going to explain what a hunt train is or how it works or how to know when they're taking place. This video is based on the assumption that you already are knowledgeable with all that. What this video will explain is what is currently going on with hunt trains and why they are so different right now, okay? Now, because we're at the start of an expansion, all of the new 6 zones have several instances to each of them. The first 2 zones have 6 instances and the remaining 4 zones have 3 each, okay? And as you know, during a hunt train, each zone has 2 Class 8 monsters to defeat and you'll obtain rewards from them. But because, I don't know, say the first zone, Kozamaku, for example, has 6 instances, you now have 12 monsters to defeat instead of 2. So that means Dawntrail hunt trains are currently having up to a total of 48 Class A monsters per train to defeat instead of the normal 12, which is basically like 4 times the amount of rewards. And what are those rewards? Well, you can receive up to 40 sacks of nuts per kill, up to 30 Tomestones of Poetics per kill, and up to 20 Tomestones of the new Aesthetics per kill, which means you're hitting 3 different currencies at once, but much faster. And the reason you want to take advantage of these currencies now is because Square Enix is scheduled to turn off all these extra instances at the end of the month sometime, end of July, which means you have about 2 weeks to take advantage of this, okay? Now, you may already have given the hunt trains a try and you've either been left behind or you didn't receive the full reward of 20 tomestones per kill. I'm going to go over a few tips that will give you the edge to make sure you are collecting every tomestone that you can get, okay? First, we need to talk about speed, right? Because there are so many players doing this, the monsters usually die within 10 seconds, right? Which means that if you fall behind, you are probably going to miss out on a kill. And believe me, this is probably going to happen. And if it does, just let it go. It's only a hunt monster. There are plenty more to be had. I've missed several monsters due to misclicking, going to the wrong spot, taking a quick AFK. It's all good. Just try to collect as much as you can, right? But during the hunt train, in order to maximize your speed, be ready to click on the location marker in the chat box when the conductor pastes it in there, okay? That way you can click on the location in the chat box, the map will automatically pull up and it will mark the red marker on the map and show you exactly where to go. Then you immediately fly there, and as soon as the first monster dies, you immediately mount up and get ready for the second location to pop up in the chat, and then you go and defeat that. And then as soon as the second monster of that zone dies, do not mount up. I see everybody doing this, okay? And in my opinion, it is completely wrong, okay? Instead of mounting up after the second monster dies, open your map and immediately teleport to one of the aetheryte crystals in that zone. In fact, I opened up my map when the second monster is at like 10% health, right? The idea is that you want to change instances as quickly as possible, and you have to dismount to use the crystal anyway, so there's no point in mounting up after the second monster dies. And this might seem like a small trivial thing, but trust me, those extra 3 to 5 seconds will make a difference between you transferring instances or being locked out of the next instance for a minute or two while the congestion of players just tries to cram its way through it, right? And this isn't such a big deal with most hunt trains, as they tend to take pit stops on the other side and wait for people. But if you're doing a bullet train, you need to transfer to the next instance before everyone else, or your ass is just gonna get left behind. Okay, next is participation on the kills and how to obtain the maximum amount of rewards. So when you are fighting these hunt monsters, your reward is determined by your participation, but more specifically your enmity. And if you're from another MMO, enmity is basically tank threat. The key to success on this is to make sure that your group has 2 to 3 tanks with tank stance turned on, and they are spamming their highest amenity attacks. For example, I'm on a Dark Knight and I hit the monster once or twice with an attack, and then I just spam unmend, right? Just to make sure that my threat is just super, super high, and then I'll get the full amount of rewards. If you do not have tanks in your group, chances are you're only going to get like 10 or 12 tomestones instead of the full 20. Now, the third tip is on how to find a group, right? And this kind of ties to tip number 2 a little bit with making sure you have tanks in your group. Man, I see this every hunt train. I've probably done 20 or 30 so far this expansion. We get to the first zone and people are shouting, looking for a group, or I can't find a group, we don't have any tanks, that kind of thing. It's really simple. Use the party finder. And I know a lot of you don't like the party finder. Maybe you don't know how to use it. It's intimidating, or you just don't like it, right? But trust me, use the party finder. Let me show you how simple this is, right? So you open up the party finder. You go up here to the top where it says the hunt. You click on this, and there will probably be some groups here listed, right? My advice, make your own group, okay? And here's why. You click on recruit members, and then just go down to this drop down right here, the hunt, and then type in something here that kind of makes you stand out, like, yay, choo-choo train, or this is the fun group for the train, that kind of thing. Just make it stand out a little bit, right? Don't worry about objective. And then right here is the important part, right? We're here where you can choose your group members. Pick to force 2 more tanks, or well, 3 if you're not going to run a tank, right? And then I just like to add a forced healer slot in there just to give the healer some love, looking at you guys. But if you set up your group like this means that when anybody joins, you're going to have 4 randoms, DPS, tanks, or healers, but you will always have 2 or 3 tanks join your group, and then a healer too, in case somebody eats a mechanic and dies. You got somebody that's in your group that can see that death and do like a quick res instead of hoping somebody outside the group reses you. Set this up, and then just recruit members, and it pops up here, the hunt, choo-choo train, boom, and you can see all the slots listed there. I promise you it will fill up within 10-15 seconds because other people are trying to join, and when they see a group that's got guaranteed tank slots and they saw this video, like you watched this video, and they know that it's important to have tanks, they're going to instantly jump in it and fill it up, right? And then that will guarantee that 1, you get into a group quickly, and 2, you have enough tanks to make sure you get the full rewards. And one final bonus tip in relation to tip number 1, where I mentioned to teleport to an aetheryte crystal and instantly transfer instances. If you teleport to the wrong crystal and the conductor is telling you go to another one because a monster is closer, that's fine. Just get yourself over to the other instance and then teleport to the correct crystal. That way you're already on the other side and you're good to go, right? And like I said at the beginning of the video, you are going to get a ton of all 3 of those resources. So when the train's over, go dump your Tomestones of Poetics, go dump your nuts. Make sure you dump your sack of nuts, and then make sure you don't cap out on the aesthetics, right? One other thing, when you're doing the hunt train and killing these monsters, you can potentially get these new cracked prismatic clusters and nova clusters. These are for the grade 11 and 12 battle materia. I have almost 400 of each of these because I've done almost 30 trains. So you're never going to have to worry about battle materia again. This is just a bonus, right? Not every monster will drop these, but you will get them often, right? So that's just a 4th currency that I didn't even talk about. Just a little bonus there. And that's it. I hope this information is helpful. Make sure you subscribe down below if you're interested in content like this. If you feel like I deserve it, hit the like button as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.